really are lucky. She is amazing. And Catherine,
It's difficult to hear you.
So with you being taught by Catherine, I promise you.
Sorry. It's a bit difficult to hear you.
You can't hear. You can't hear me.
We can't hear from.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just me, but I'm having difficulty.
I can't hear either.
So I've been teaching yoga for 6 years now. I teach at Yoga Spirit in Constantia. I teach at Yoga Zone
too soft.
And then I also teach at 2 private smaller boutique studios, one in Sakai and one in Half Bay. All of them are heat studios. Mostly now I don't teach Hot 26 at the moment, and I obviously haven't because of COVID. So I just teach Hot Vinyasa classes at the moment. A friend of mine, another Hot 26 teacher, and I run a Hot 26 teacher training here. We're doing it this year in August. So if after this afternoon, if you are interested in qualifying as a Hot 26 teacher trainer, you need to have a separate certification, and I'll tell you why, because it's quite complicated. It's very different to Vinyasa. And so we run a teacher training, a Hot 26 teacher training. We did one last year, which was fantastic, and most of those girls, I think, have got jobs teaching Hot 26 yoga, which is awesome. So if you're interested, look on the website. We will be running it in August this year, and it is amazing. All teacher trainings are amazing. It really is. So if you're interested, then that's something that you can look at. Okay. All right. So Hot 26 is no longer called Bikram, and I'm going to get into that as well. Okay. All right. I'm just going to load my slideshow, and then you guys should be able to hear me okay. You're looking at the screen, yeah. So you might just want to just get yourselves a little bit more comfortable. Okay. Hang on, sorry guys. Let me just sort this out. Why is it doing that now? Where from start? Yes, I just want one slide on here. What is it doing? No. Sorry, let me just sort this out. Sorry guys. Why is it doing that now? So, present to view. No. Does anybody know how to make this? Oh, it's on here. All right, come on. Okay, don't look at this. Just look on that. Okay. Sorry. Okay, I told you I'm not technologically advanced. All right, so here we go. All right, so. Are you going to send us that presentation? Catherine records these sessions. Well, I recorded that session. I don't know if she passes the stuff on to me. Yeah. I don't.
No, the recording is fine. I was just thinking of the.
Yeah. So if there's anything that you can write down whatever you like, whatever you think is important. Okay. So did any of you watch that Bikram documentary? Okay. Did all of you watch it? Yeah. Okay. Have you guys also on Zoom watched it? Lorata, I think. Okay. All right. Awesome. Okay.
We chat about it briefly.
Okay. We did chat about it. Okay. So you would have seen all about Bikram Choudhury and the kind of person that he was. You didn't watch it. Okay. He was quite a controversial character. He was accused of acting inappropriately with ladies and women on his teacher trainings, and he had to flee the United States because there's actually a warrant out for his arrest, so he can never ever go back there. His teacher trainings were unbelievably popular. They used to take up a whole hotel, and the students used to stay at the hotel, and his teacher trainings, if you look at some of the videos, which you can find on YouTube, were packed. Not 14 people, probably more like 50, 90, 100, whatever. Packed, jam-packed. Okay, so his teacher trainings were very, very popular. He is still, even though he is wanted in the United States, he's still running teacher trainings in Mexico and Spain, I think. Mm-hmm. And as far as I understand, that his teacher trainings now are just as popular as they were then. Okay, yes. So just because he's got this reputation, it doesn't mean necessarily that nobody wants to go and do his teacher trainings. There are still a lot of people that do. Okay.
My advice to you is, if you watch that documentary, you'd probably think, oh my God, Hot 26 is just awful, and he's an awful person, and so the sequence is awful, and everything about Hot 26 is awful. It's actually not. The sequence is amazing. It really is. And it's very, very, very popular. So when the documentary came out, all the studios changed the name from Bikram to Hot 26 because they didn't want to have the connotation associated with him. Can I say that it made our number of students drop off dramatically? No, not at all. Okay, out of a class, let's say, of 13 students that were practicing, maybe 2 decided not to come back. Okay, so my advice to you is take the man that he was out of the equation because the sequence is amazing. It is a very popular form of yoga. It is, as I mentioned, we were chatting briefly before we started this session, it is recommended for beginners. Okay, and for a number of reasons, because you're not in a downward-facing dog. There's not one downward-facing dog or plank pose in the whole sequence. So for people that cannot hold a downward-facing dog or haven't got strength in their shoulders or anything, it's a nice option. Okay, if you have injuries with your shoulders or your wrists or whatever, and you cannot be in high plank and downward-facing dog for a whole vinyasa class, but you still want to practice a form of yoga, it's excellent. If you don't mind the heat, it's a good option for you as well. Okay, so don't slate it and think it's awful because of the person. Yes, he wasn't a very nice person. I 100% agree. But Hot 26 sequence and yoga is amazing. Okay, that's my advice to you. Okay, if you decide after all of this, no, this is not for you, that's absolutely fine. Obviously, you're entitled to your own opinion.
Did your granny ever do a hot yoga?
No,
Oh,
she taught having yoga. Yes,
Sorry,
yes.
I think somebody tried to contact you by phone.
Oh, by phone?
Yeah, in a group, I don't know, Brian, I cannot
Okay.
see it. Just see it. I want to contact you on phone.
Do you know what they said?
She said they can't hear you if you turn your head away.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's going to be difficult. All right. I'll try and talk to everybody. I'll just try not to move my head. Okay. So Bikram Chowdhury practiced yoga classes in Japan in the 1970s. And he noticed that the Japanese yoga students used to practice a yoga class and then they would go and they would have a sauna afterwards. So he thought, well, why can't we combine the two things? Instead of having yoga and then a sauna, why don't we do the two things together? Because I think they felt that the sauna was very good for getting rid of all the toxins in the body and that kind of thing. So he thought, well, why can't we put the two together? So he started teaching and he started experimenting with heaters in the yoga room. And that is slowly how the Hot 26 developed. Nowadays, we have infrared heaters like Catherine Scott. A lot of the other studios, the infrared is sort of the latest kind of heating system. Previous to that, it's big gas heaters. And with Hot 26, you practice in 40 degrees Celsius heat and 60% humidity. Okay. So in addition to just the heating, you would also have humidity, which makes the class a lot hotter. Okay. So that is how we bring the heat into the room, either infrared or gas heaters, but with humidifiers as well. Okay. So he developed, well, not him, actually, his mentor actually taught him this sequence, but he then took it on as his own, okay? And it is a 26 posture sequence. It is exactly the same sequence every time. It doesn't change. If I go tomorrow to a studio in Germany and I want to go and do a Hot 26 class, it will be exactly the same sequence as you get taught in South Africa, America, UK, wherever. Okay, so even if I might not understand the language and I have a general idea of the sequence, I can go and practice a Hot 26 class anywhere in the whole world. It is the same sequence wherever you go. Okay, it doesn't change. Advantages of that is that you get to analyze your progress quite nicely because you can see how you improve from class to class, from week to week. Disadvantages is, well, you might get a little bit bored with it. Some people like a bit of something different. But I can promise you the people that are Bikram or Hot 26, Bikram, or we used to call them Bikramites, what do you call them now? I don't know if there's no word for it. They absolutely love it. Yeah, whatever you want, they absolutely love it. You get the same people that come all the time. It is a very regimental practice. We are very strict about how we teach. You are not allowed to step off your mat for the whole class. There's a lot of balancing. So if I've got people walking around, You can't have that. You don't move. You're on your mat and you stay on your mat. Okay. You normally have a mirror in the front of the room and you use your mirror for alignment. Okay. So you need to set yourself up that you can see yourself in the mirror. Nobody's allowed off their mats. You listen to the instructions. You move as a group, and it's talking you into the pose, talking while you're in the pose, and then getting you out. And it's quick. We don't have time to faff around. Okay.
Is the rule about don't step it out is because it's slippery or?
No, because I don't want you to disturb the focus of everybody else in the room.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of balancing,
Okay.
a lot of focus. So if I'm looking in the mirror and I've got somebody that's doing something to the side or doing something in front of me that's not part of the sequence, it throws you out. So it's a very regimental, disciplined practice. Okay, yes.
So it's 90 minutes.
Yes.
Does it take 90 minutes to do one sequence, or do you repeat the sequence?
Good question. Okay, in a 90-minute class, which is the traditional Hot 26, 90 minutes is what they ran for. Now we have our classes, 60 minutes, okay? 90 minutes was what they originally ran for. You do, in that 90 minutes, you do 2 sets of everything, except tree, which is in the middle, and there's a twist at the end. You do 1 set of those. Everything else, you do 2 sets of every single posture.
Is it like 2 sets, like one left side and one
Yes,
right
always
side?
on the right side first. Very disciplined, very disciplined. It's always on the right side first. You go right, left, and then you do the second time as well. Okay. So classes ran for 90 minutes. In an hour class, because we have to make it shorter, you do 2 sets of the postures up to a certain point, which is your wide-legged forward fold or your praserita, and I'll show you when we get there. It's like a praserita, but it's not called that. Then from there on, you do 1 set of each posture until the end. That's the difference. Okay. So the 90-minute is better because you get to do the posture twice, which means you get in a little bit deeper and you can feel it a little bit better the second time. But 90 minutes is really long. So that's why most of the studios now run 60-minute classes. People don't generally, a lot of people don't have time for 90 minutes. It's quite a long class. So we run 60-minute classes. But traditional Hot 26 is 90 minutes. Okay. Right here. Okay, so that is your 26 postures. You can't really see, the names aren't too clear here. So Bikram Chowdhury, because he had developed this sequence and called it Bikram yoga after himself, obviously named it after himself, he tried to patent this. He actually went to court so that this would be a patented sequence. And if you were going to teach Bikram or Hot 26, you were only allowed to get taught by him. You were not allowed, this is what he wanted, you wouldn't have been allowed to open a studio and teach Hot 26 unless you had been taught by him and you had his permission. Okay, exactly. And you would have had to pay franchise or licensing fees, which means on top of the money that he made, because he's made a fortune with his teacher trainings, he would have made even more money. Okay. The court threw it out because none of these postures are really any different to Hatha yoga postures or Vinyasa or Ashtanga or whatever. Okay, so they all come from somewhere else originally. So they said to him, no, you can't patent this because this is not brand new out of the box postures or whatever that you have invented. They're basically just drawn from whatever is out there already. So luckily for us, and anybody that wants to learn Hot 26, he didn't manage to do that. So you can do a teacher training here for Hot 26 with myself, Penny, through Catherine, and you can get qualified to teach Hot 26. You don't need to go through him. Okay. He did try, but he didn't succeed. Okay. 26 postures. As I said, it's the same 26 postures all the time. Nothing ever changes. It's the same. Okay. In a Hot 26 class, we focus a lot on timing. Okay, so Bikram timing is very important. And if you're going to be teaching a Hot 26, this is one of the most important things to focus on. If you have a look there, you'll see that there are 2 sets of each posture. The first set is held for a certain amount of time. And the second set is held for a certain amount of time, which is different than the first set. Okay, you as a teacher have to know how long each pose is held for. You as a teacher have to hold the pose for that amount of time. Okay, not shorter, not longer, if possible, that amount of time. The reason for that is, if you don't stick to these times, you will either not finish your class in time, you will run late, or you will shortchange everybody and you'll finish your class too soon, which means you haven't given them enough time in the postures. People that do Hot 26 often know what it feels like to hold like half moon for a minute. And they know if you shortchange them. Also, they know what it feels to hold it for a minute. So if you hold it for a minute to the right-hand side, you better make sure that you hold it for a minute to the left-hand side. It's no good a minute on the right and then 20 seconds on the left. Okay, so Bikram timing is extremely important. You'll see halfway through, we do the standing sequence and then we have a Shavasana. If you look there, pose number 14 is a Shavasana. I know if I'm teaching an hour class, and I say I'll start with my class at 5 o'clock, by 20 to 6, in other words, 40 minutes in, I need to have them in Shavasana. If I don't, I've done something incredibly wrong with my timing. No, because it takes, no, it's halfway as in terms of then you go to the floor, but it's not halfway timing, good question. So when I say halfway, I mean, I've finished the standing sequence and I'm about to go onto the floor sequence. So
You do the standing sequence twice on both sides and then the floor sequence twice on both sides, or you do the whole thing on both sides twice?
you do two postures, one after the other, and then you go on to the next one and you do two sets, one after the other.
On each leg,
Yes,
and then
yes.
it's just singles.
Yes, in an hour class,
So
yes.
you do tree one leg, tree the other leg,
Yes.
next pose one leg, and then the last set is just one.
Yes. Okay. So timing is incredibly important. If I'm not on the floor, if I teach at 5, I start at 5 and I'm not in Shavasana by 20 to 6, I've done something wrong. Then you're either going, oh, okay, sure, I'm late. Now what do I do? What can I leave out? Or how do I make it a little bit quicker? Okay. You do a lot of sit-ups in Hot 26, and I'll talk about that as well. Sometimes if I'm really pushed for time and I've made a bit of the stuff up, then I will leave some of the sit-ups out because I have to, because otherwise I'm going to run late. Okay, I think I've got a message from the group here. Oops. 1 second. Okay, so timing is incredibly important. So when you teach a Hot 26 class, okay, sorry guys, I wasn't answering my phone because I didn't have Wi-Fi, but now I do. Okay, so I'll try not to turn my head away from the screen. So timing is incredibly important. So when you're teaching a Hot 26 class, think about what you're managing. Okay, you're managing the heat and the humidity. The humidity needs to get switched off about 10 minutes into your class, otherwise you're going to fry everybody and literally cook them alive. Okay, so you're watching the heat. You are watching your timing. You are cueing. You are talking. There's no demonstrating in Hot 26. I don't stand in front of the class and demonstrate at all. I stand and I talk. That's all I do. Okay?
So do you need to know the sequences before you go then?
You have to know?
Do you need to know the sheets?
Me, as a teacher.
Yeah.
No,
When you teach the sequence, you need to know what the poses are, then you can demonstrate.
Exactly.
So it's not like a beginner's class.
No. It's beginners can do it because they listen and they get in and out of the poses just by listening. But you don't have a teacher standing in the front demonstrating. Okay.
And
We don't do that.
corrections, things like that, do your line.
Good question. You don't have time to do a huge amount of physical adjustments. You don't have time. That is my timing. And most of the time, that is enough time to cue you into the pose, to get you to hold it for the correct amount of time and to get you out. I don't have time to go and faff with physical adjustments. I don't have time to go and faff giving people props, giving them straps, help. It's very, very pressurized in terms of time. Okay. That's so you are managing heat, you're managing you cueing, you are watching what people are doing, because I need to see if somebody's doing something incorrectly. I'm watching so that I can give a verbal cue that is going to fix whatever somebody's doing incorrectly, because I don't have time to go and physically adjust. Okay, so you need to be watching and you need to be on it. If somebody's doing something incorrectly, your verbal cueing is extremely important. You're also managing your music. Okay, because in a Hot 26, now the traditional Hot 26, there was no music. Now we bring music into the class. So you're managing your music. Okay, you're making sure that you've got the sequence in your mind. You're making sure you've got your timing 100% perfect. you're watching the heat. If it starts to get a little bit too hot, you might want to go and just check that your temperature hasn't soared above 40 degrees, because it can. You might want to turn it down. You might need to turn it up. So there's a lot that you have to focus on. Okay.
I'm sorry, but how
Yes.
do you manage your time? You are like, you check it with a watch or like with the music or?
Yes, sometimes I will use a watch. Sometimes we have a little clock, tiny little clock in the studio, and you can use that. A lot of the time when you learn to teach Hot 26, you measure how long a minute is or how long 30 seconds is by how many cues you can say in a minute. Okay, so that's how you actually learn. So if I'm getting into half moon, I time and I say, okay, I'm going to give cues into the shape. How many cues does it take me to get to a minute? When I do it on the other side, I have to have the same number of cues that I know is going to last a minute. Because you can't be watching your watch all the time. You need to be watching your students. You're still a teacher. You still have to make sure that your students are doing what they're supposed to do. And more importantly, that they're not doing something stupid that's going to hurt themselves. Okay, so I might, if I'm holding something like for a minute, I'll have a quick glance at my watch and then I'll have another glance and it's a minute. The rest of the time, a lot of the time, you don't have time to look at your watch. You need to just know. And it comes by feel. The more you do it, the more you practice it, it eventually becomes like second nature to you. You don't even have to think about it. Okay, but in the beginning, it is difficult. And that your timing is extremely important. Okay. Right, so we're going to go through the sequence. I'll go through the postures one at a time. And we'll run through them very briefly. I'm not going to go into too much depth because I want you to actually we'll do a Hot 26. We'll do an hour practice and then you can get to feel the poses and see what it feels like for yourselves. Okay. You'll also note that if you look at the Sanskrit names, Bikram Choudhury also gave each of his poses their own Sanskrit name, which I will talk you through because basically some of them are the same as what you would teach in a vinyasa class. For example, your Garudasana or your eagle, your Ustrasana or your camel. So he also tried to patent his sequence by making up all these other fancy Sanskrit names. Okay, so which is a little bit unnecessary. You didn't really have to do that, but he wanted to do that to make it a little bit more unique and to try and be able to then milk his patency fees that you would have to pay him. Okay. All right, so we start off with, there's 2 breathing exercises in Hot 26. You start off with one at the beginning and you end off with Kapalabhati at the end. So your first breathing exercise, that's not okay, anyway, is pranayama, deep breathing. Your inhalations are in through the nose, and I'll talk you through it when we do the class, and your exhalations are out through the mouth, so it's open mouth breathing on the exhales. You inhale for a count of 6 seconds. You exhale for a count of 6 seconds, and you do 10 rounds. So there again, your timing is important. You count literally 6 seconds for them to inhale, and you count 6 seconds for them to exhale. Okay, the timing is important. The most important, probably the second most important thing I tell you is the cueing. To get you out of a pose, the cue is always the same, change. So I will get you into half moon, and then to get you out, I'll say change. Then we'll go to the other side, I'll do the other side, and my cue to get you out will be change. So the cue to get you out of the pose in Hot 26 is change. You don't say anything else.
You don't say which pose you're going into.
No. No, you do. You get them out, and then you say the name of the next pose. But to get them out of the pose that they're in, you say change. Okay. Right, so starting off with your pranayama deep breathing, then we do half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. And it's a very specific bind. It's an interlace of the fingers, the index fingers release, and you keep the thumbs crossed. So if you were doing vinyasa, it would be called Kali Mudra. Okay, I don't know if you can see this, you guys. I'm sure you can. Okay, so that's your Kali Mudra grip, but he called it Hot 26 bind or Bikram bind. Okay, very specific. So he's doing half moon with a very different bind of the fingertips, which you know, instead of just leaning over towards the side with your palms connected or whatever. Okay. So you do your side bend first to the right, then to the left, then you move into a back bend. You keep the same bind of your hands, half moon back bend, okay? From there, you move into a forward fold, and quite specific, you have your hands underneath your heels from the back, and you actually stand on your fingertips. And the aim is to straighten your legs with your tummy and your chest connected to your thighs. Not many people can do what this lady is doing. Her legs are perfectly straight and she still has her upper body sandwiched towards her thighs. Most of your practitioners will have bent legs. Okay, unless they have super flexy hamstrings. Okay. Hands to feet, Parahastasana. Parahastasana is not really a different name at all. Okay, then you move into what we call awkward squats or Utkatasana. Utkatasana is actually your chair pose. Okay, this is basically the same. 3 parts. The first part, your feet are separate and you sit halfway down. Second part, your heels are lifted. Third part, your knees and thighs are squeezed together and you lower all the way down to hover your bum off your heels. So you'll do all 3 sets, all 3 poses. That's 1 set, yep. And then you'll do all 3 poses again as the second set, one after the other. Okay. Then we do, and this is all part of the warm-up sequence, by the way. Then we do eagle pose, Garudasana, same name, eagle. Okay, so most of the time in the vinyasa class, when you do eagle, we tell you to elevate your arms or get your elbows up and away from your chest so you can spread the shoulders. He changed his. This one, you pull your arms down. Okay, so you almost trying to pull your elbows towards your belly button. There's a lot of compression. You're leaning slightly forward at the hips, squeezing the inner thighs, squeezing the arms together, but most importantly, he's got the pulling of the hands down rather than lifting your arms up, just to change it a little bit. Okay, so that's the difference between one you would do maybe in Vinyasa and one you do in Hot 26. And the aim is, as your shoulders and the muscles around the shoulder joints and everything open, when you pull your hands down, you'll be able to see your eyes over your fingertips. Because a lot of people in the beginning can't. They don't have the flexibility and openness in the shoulders and the trapezius and the lats and all the muscles around the shoulder joint. So they won't be able to see their eyes above their fingertips, but as you get a little bit, it gets a little bit easier, you can. Okay, so that's perfectly how it's done. Okay, that is the end of the warm-up sequence. At the end of this warm-up sequence, we offer a water break. So I'll say, end of the warm-up sequence, have a sip of water. A sip. We have got a whole sequence to get through, which is a lot of forward folding. If you drink a whole lot of water, you're going to make yourself vomit. I promise you. Okay, so sip of water. After this, we don't give you another water break. The idea is you don't need water for the rest of the class. Okay. The other reason why we don't offer water breaks or we advise people not to drink water is if I am balancing and I am focused and I have some idiot next to me that's reaching for their water bottle and glugging their water and making a big mountain out of this whole water scene, I'm going to lose my focus. Okay, so my advice is once you have that water break, this is what we generally recommend, you don't go for your water bottle again. Unless you're absolutely dying, obviously, okay, because I don't want to kill anybody in class. But the point is, it's a distraction and it's a very regimented practice. I don't have time to wait for everybody to drink their water. Okay, I don't. End of story. I don't have time. Sorry, guys. Seriously. But I think it's because of the heaters. Hey, I don't have time for everybody to drink water, and I'm standing there waiting for Tracy and then Mark and then Jane or whoever to drink their water. There's no time for that. You saw that time sheet. Okay, that is my time. So unless you die, you don't need water and you won't dehydrate. I promise you in an hour class if you've drank correctly during the day. If you've had nothing to drink and you've been really stupid and you come to a Hot 26 class and you haven't anything to drink the whole day and then you're being a bit stupid. If you've hydrated properly during the day, which we all normally do anyway, you won't dehydrate in a Hot 26 hour class. I've never seen anybody do that anyway. Okay, so no time for water breaks. You get on with the poses, you do what you need to do. And that's something that beginners take a little while to actually realize. Is that, oh, okay, I can't back around here. Okay, there's no time for that. It's very regimented and you need to have a lot of focus. Otherwise, you're going to fall out of your balances and it's going to be a disastrous practice. Okay. Right, so after that, we go into standing sequence and balancing on one leg. We start off with standing head to knee. He called it something else than Dayamana Janushasana because he could. So starting off, the first one on the left-hand side where the lady has her foot interlocked in her hands is your starting pose, your starting shape. Normally in a Hot 26, we hold that shape in the first set. We don't move from there. Okay, it's difficult enough. People fall out, it's hard to balance. Progression is to kick the leg out, and the full expression of the pose is, as the gentleman is doing on the right, is your forehead to your knee, standing head to knee. Makes sense. Okay, this is probably the most, I would say, one of the most challenging poses. It's very difficult. As soon as you are balancing on one leg, anyway, everything is more difficult. Not only are you doing that, but now you have the bind on your hands, and you have the forehead to the knee. And as soon as you tuck your chin and lose sight of whatever's in front of you, it challenges your balance even more. So this is probably, for me, especially, this is the most difficult pose in the whole sequence. Okay. If people cannot, okay, think about this. If I have got my hands interlaced under my foot and I am extending that leg forward, but I don't extend it forward, I actually hang it down towards the floor. I'm going to show you, sorry, I'm just going to show you what I mean so you can all just see. I hope you guys can see. Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, so if I have got my standing head to knee, and I'm supposed to get my leg parallel to the mat, okay, which is what you're supposed to do, but I hang it down like this, okay, and I'm loading weight. Where do you think I'm going to feel it? Which is not going to be, oh, you know, I can actually feel it straight away. Where do you think I'm going to feel it? Where? Yes, on your lower back. Okay, so if you have people that are kicking out and their leg is hanging down to the floor, you need to cue, guys. If your leg is not parallel to the mat, come out, please, and you take the first position and you stay there. Because having your leg hanging down towards the floor is loading extra weight, and you're going to feel it in your face. Okay, so that is probably the most serious injury, basically, that somebody can do, is take it into the lower back in this particular pose. Okay. All right. So you do 2 sets, always starting on the right, then you do the left, and then you do a second set. And the first set, I told you, we normally just hold the first part of the pose with your hands interlaced underneath the ball of your foot. And for some people, that's difficult enough. Okay. Then we have standing bow pulling pose, which is your dancer's pose, except your hips are level. So you're trying to get your hips squared off to your mat. In other words, you're dropping in this particular pose, you're dropping the right hip down a little bit. I don't know why this isn't clear. Anyway, so it's basically like your dancer's pose, but he calls it standing bow pulling pose. Okay, not too difficult. This is nice because a lot of beginners can do this as well. Okay.
The leg all the way up there.
No, it's no. Your hamstrings are very flexible, so no. Then we move into standing balancing stick, which he calls Tula Dandasana, which is basically your warrior 3, but he has that grip, that Kali Mudra, that hot 26 grip of the hands is again here. Okay, just to make it a little bit different, so you're not just reaching your arms forward like warrior 3, you're doing something just a little different. Okay. At the end of this part, this is where in a 60-minute class, you up until here, you would have done 2 sets of each posture. In an hour class from here on out, you do 1 set. In a 90-minute practice, we carry on doing 2 sets. Okay, so that is your standing balancing sequence. Then we move on to a wide-legged standing separate leg stretching series, it's called. Okay, and it starts off with something that looks basically like your prasarita. Your grip of your hands, you can't see, is behind your heels. You're not standing on your fingertips, but your grip is behind your heels. The difference with this is if you did prasarita in a vinyasa class, you would relax your neck. His instruction is to lift your chin. Okay, so your chin is lifted. That's the only difference. Chin is lifted, and that is specific. If you're doing a hot 26, you lift your chin. That's it. Okay, so it's very specific. Okay, and that will be one of the cues, is keep your chin lifted, because that is a hot 26 wide-legged forward fold, not how you would do it in the vinyasa class. Okay. Okay. He calls this triangle, Trikonasana, but what is that actually, guys?
Extended side.
Yes. Okay, so it's basically your extended side angle. We call it Trikonasana triangle. Yeah, basically,
So,
yes.
Do you call when you're in class, do you call the poses his made-up name, or do you?
Good question. I will use sometimes some of the Sanskrit names. I'll call this one Trikonasana, I'll call Camel Ustrasana, but I don't do standing separate head to knee. I don't do Dandayamana Janashasana. I say standing separate head to knee. I use English. Okay, so it just depends on you. Every teacher's different.
But if you said Trikonasana, I wouldn't know. I would go into triangle. I would go
Yeah.
into standing
Yes,
side and-
but you listen to the instructions.
Oh, so you would say it plus Q.
I promise you, I don't stop talking for an hour. Don't stop talking for an hour. Okay, and you'll see when we do the class. I don't stop talking because I need to get you into the correct pose. Just using my voice. Nothing else. Okay, so I don't talk for an
So
hour.
you would say bend your right leg.
Exactly,
Okay.
100%. Yes. So you will go into Trikonasana, but it won't be triangle that you would do in the Vinyasa class, because if you're listening to the cues, which you are doing in the Hot 26 class, you will be guided into that shape. Okay.
Nice.
Right. Yes. Okay. Then we do standing separate head to knee. Most of the time, okay, the aim of this pose is to get your forehead to your knee,
Pyramid pose.
basically. But forehead must be on your knee. If you need to bend your front leg to get your forehead to your knee, you bend your front leg. Most people who start Hot 26, or most people in Hot 26 will have their front leg, in this case, her right leg would be bent to get that forehead to knee connection. Your forehead must touch your knee. If your forehead is not touching your knee, you're not doing the pose. Go home and go and do another form of yoga. Yeah, that's how strict it is. I'm not joking. That is, if you're not, if you have
don't give a gold star. hey?
no. So if you don't do what the specific cue is, you're not doing the Hot 26 pose. Okay, right. Okay, tree pose. What is the difference between this and normal tree? Can you see?
So that's a the lotus leg.
Yes. Okay, so the lifted leg is in half lotus, and that's basically the only difference. Okay.
Can't do it.
No, actually, for this one, we'll give a cue. If you can't, because some people can't get their leg in half lotus. And if they do, they might be having to round their spine and stand all like folded in half and awkward. And the aim is to stand up straight. So then I'll cue. If that doesn't work for you, please just take
And
the
doesn't the
additional cue.
sweat make your foot slip?
No. Most of the time, you would hold your foot underneath with your one hand.
Oh, you wouldn't be.
It's very difficult to get your hands in play without letting that foot slip. So most of the time, you would be holding that foot underneath with your one hand, and you would just have your one hand to your heart. Okay. Yep. That's most of the time how we cue it. If you're an advanced Bikramite, then that's how you would end up doing it. Okay. So your one leg is in half lotus. From there, you go into toe stand, Padangusthasana. Okay, this is quite difficult to get from your tree into your toe stand. So a lot of newbies won't even attempt this, and a lot of people find it difficult. And people with knee issues, you tell them not to do this.
Would you be allowed to go flat foot? Or do you have to go on the toe?
This is the Hot 26 Guys.
I'm so gonna be
This is Hot 26. As you see it, is how you do it. No variations whatsoever. Okay.
If you
That is
fall
it.
off,
If you fall out, doesn't matter.
So what do you do if you physically, also with lotus, if your foot doesn't actually
you
get
can't
there?
go to Hot 26.
Then you can't. No. Then you stay in tree.
Okay, then you stay in tree until the next one.
Yes.
So if you can't do the next
You
advanced
wait in
pose, you just
Yes.
wait
So you
that
wait
way.
in tree. So people that aren't doing toe stand will wait in tree.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, it's not wrong.
Right, cool. Okay, now we should be 40 minutes into the class now. Okay,
Wow.
if it's an hour class, because now we're in Shavasana. And guess what? For this Shavasana, you turn around. Your head faces the front of the room and your feet face the back. Okay, so you turn around. So if I'm teaching and I'm facing, this is my mirrors at the front of my room, and I'm teaching my whole class facing forward. When this Shavasana, you turn around. You lie down, head facing the front and your feet towards the back. So you facing the back of the class.
But your head is forward.
Yes. Okay, whereas normally when you finish a
The
Vinyasa
head is
class,
backwards
you just
and
go
the
into-
feet are forward.
Yes.
Correct.
okay, so you turn around.
Opposite.
Yes. Okay, so this Shavasana, you turn around. Okay, so you're in Shavasana for about 2 minutes. If you're running out of time, you can cut it a little bit shorter, which you may have to do. Okay. So sometimes we're allowed to cheat. Okay, from there, still keep facing the back of the room now, you do wind removing pose, the Bandha Muktasana. Consists of 2 parts. The first part, you pull your right leg to your chest or your armpit, then your left leg, then the second part is both legs together. Okay.
Are you following that?
These poses are backwards.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
they are the best nice
Yeah, I don't know.
No,
manual, I don't know how you put
In the
this.
manual 14,
Oh,
yes, in the
there.
middle, and then 15, 16 starts on the back again.
Oh, that's so silly. Okay.
Because I lost my place there, which Shavasana then do you pose 15? Is it a pose?
Shavasana.
Yeah.
Yes.
okay.
Yes. Yes.
But
Yes. Yes.
the book is even say that it's
It's
not
not
set sequence.
Oh,
Your sequence in your book is a little bit incorrect.
So what they're saying is this was, the previous section was set sequences. It just
Ah.
so the bottom bit should be,
Page or something.
it should be non-set sequences and then underneath it goes the vinyasa. So it's just the diagram, it's actually not.
Okay.
half a page.
After wind removing pose, we do a Bikram sit up. Okay, and we do a lot of these because each time you finish a pose from now on, you turn around, you take Shavasana, you do a Bikram sit up, you turn around, face the front, and you do the next pose. Okay, from now on.
Wait, you turn, how many times do you?
So I'll talk you through it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we've just done wind removing pose. We're going to do a Bikram sit up. We then turn around to face the front because we're still facing the back of the room, remember? We turn around to face the front and we do Cobra pose. Okay, we don't do sit-ups after this, but I'll tell you when we do. So we do Cobra, which is your Bhujangasana. You don't need to lift your chin. That's too much compression into the neck, so you don't lift your chin up. Okay, that's a bit of an extreme form of Cobra. But anyway, it's like your traditional Cobra, like your Bhujangasana, like you're doing a vinyasa class. You then lie down and you turn your head towards the right, you put your left ear on the floor and you have a little break. Couple of seconds, that's it. Left ear to the floor, everybody's looking towards the right. You don't have one person looking towards the left.
Looking at you.
Same, I'll say, everybody's doing the same thing. Left ear to the floor, you're looking towards the right. Okay. You then move on to half locust. Also consists of 2 parts. You start off by lifting one leg at a time. Your arms are underneath you. Palms, fingertips are touching. So you snuggle and wriggle your arms underneath you. It's very uncomfortable. You lift the right leg up for a few seconds, lower it, lift the left leg up for a few seconds. The second part, you kick both of your legs up. Okay. You then lower down. You take your hands out from underneath you. You look towards your left. Your right ear is on the floor and you take a break. Everybody's looking in the right direction. Okay. Then you do full locust. He called this Purna Shalabhasana, which is basically just lifting legs and arms off the floor. Okay. Once you've done that, you lie down. You turn towards your right. Left ear's on the floor, arms alongside you. You have a little break. Sorry?
How long do you have to hold?
No, not long. A couple of seconds, about 10 seconds. Okay. Your last pose on the floor is your Dhanurasana. No, don't look at that because most people can't do that. Okay. Her shoulders are in flexion. Most people are just in extension, reaching back and holding their feet. Okay. So that's quite, not many people can do that. That is your floor bow. So you have basically 4 back bending poses, one after the other. Okay. So really good for back strength. Really good. It feels nice. The sequence feels good. You don't do something that feels, oh, this feels terrible in your body. Okay, the sequence is good. It feels good. Okay, even though you're working hard, it still feels good. You then lower down and you take a rest. Right here to the floor, everybody's looking to the left. Okay. You then move into fixed firm pose, Supta Vajrasana, with your ankles outside your hips, which is uncomfortable and should not be done by anybody that has issues with their knees. Okay. Most people will stay sitting up. A few people can get into the full expression, which is lying all the way back. People that can do it, love it. They stay there for ages and it's perfectly comfortable. If it's not comfortable, you just stay sitting. You don't even move out of that shape. Okay. From there, you would sit up. Come out of it, not sit up, come out of it. Turn around, face the back of the mat, lie down in Shavasana. Couple of seconds. Do a Bikram sit up. turn around, face the front, and we move on to the next pose, which is half tortoise, Ardha Kamasana. It's like a modified version of child's pose. Again, you have palms connecting, just your thumbs crossed, arms out in front of you, and you lift your wrists and elbows off the floor so your arms are quite active, your forehead is on the floor, and important to maintain your sitting bones connecting to your heels. Okay, you would change, get them out of the pose, turn around, Shavasana, Bikram sit up, turn around, face the front, camel. This is your peak pose of the whole sequence, the Ustrasana. Okay? When you come out of camel, guess what? Turn around, Shavasana. Bikram sit up, turn around, face the front, and we have Sasangasana rabbit pose. Okay? This one, I will sometimes call everybody out and I will demonstrate it. Because this one people do incorrectly a lot. Because they can't see what they're doing in the mirror. And if they're not listening to the cues properly, they're going to do it incorrectly. So this is one pose where if I notice that the majority of the class has got it wrong, I get them out, I demonstrate it, and then we go back into it. Okay. Guess what? You come out of that pose, just turn around, Shavasana, Bikram sit up. Okay, so if I'm running out of time, I may leave some of the sit-ups out.
Nice.
Okay, because I'm running out of time. I don't have time to add every single sit-up. I've really buggered up somewhere along in the sequence, and so I will leave some of the sit-ups out. So I might just go from, I'll never leave the sit-up out after camel one. Because camel is quite an intense back bend. After that, people do definitely need Shavasana. Okay, so I might go straight from half tortoise to camel without a sit-up, but then I'll definitely put them in a Shavasana after that. And I might just go from rabbit straight to the next pose without a sit-up, which is your Janu Shirshasana head to knee. Again, guys, forehead to knee. If you need to bend that extended leg to get your forehead to your knee, then that's what you do. If you don't have your forehead to your knee, you're not doing a hot 26 pose. Okay, right, good.
So it's very much like Ashtanga.
Yeah, yes, it is. It is like Ashtanga. Because Ashtanga is also, yes, Ashtanga is also
Otherwise it's not.
set sequence. Exactly. It's not the pose if you're not doing what is being cued.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so after Jhana, you do right leg first, then you do left leg, and then you do Paschimottanasana, which is basically the same as the Paschimottanasana you would do in the Vinyasa class, except you definitely have a peace finger bind around your big toe. Okay, not any other variation with your hands or your arms. Your final pose is or second to last pose actually, is spine twisting Ardha Matsyendrasana, and that's not any different name to how you would do it. That's quite an advanced version where she's actually got her back arm, instead of having her back arm on the floor, because you normally have your back hand on the floor, she's actually wrapped it around her lower back. So that's quite an advanced twist. Yeah, sort of, it's wrapping sort of towards the inside of her hip. Yeah, okay. Your last pose is Kapalabhati breathing, which is, do you guys know Kapalabhati breathing? Breath of fire. Okay, little as you pull your belly button in, snap of the navel in and up to shoot the breath out of your mouth. Again, it's an open mouth exhalation. It's quite a stimulating, I've had this question before, so I'm going to answer before anybody asks. It's quite a stimulating form of breathing. Okay, so people have asked, why on earth would you put Kapalabhati breathing? Kapalabhati is normally done at the beginning of a practice. He put it at the end. Why would you have Kapalabhati breathing at the end? And having researched and read, my thought is, it gets a lot of oxygen into the body, and oxygen heals your muscles. So I think it's not such a bad idea before you come into Shavasana, where you're going to lie down and your final Shavasana at the end of practice, to have extra oxygen in your body to possibly help heal the muscles and soothe the joints and whatever else is going to take place in your Shavasana. Okay, that is your last pose, and then after that you move into your final Shavasana. Again, you turn around, so you end your class facing the other way around, or Shavasana is facing towards the back of the mat.
What is the what before?
Oh, no, I actually think it's got something to do with, there is this theory that if you are in Shavasana and your feet are facing forward, you actually, I'm going to put this in inverted commas, standing on your teacher.
Yes.
Okay.
Pointing the
Yeah.
If Vikram didn't want everyone's dirty feet looking at
Probably
him.
not. Okay, so you turn around and your head is towards the front and your feet are towards the back. So you're not in inverted commas standing on your teacher.
Yeah.
Okay, if you want to think of it like that, I can't think of any other reason why you would have done that. Just to be different, maybe.
Just to be able to call it
Just to
is.
be exactly, just to be different, because obviously you can see he likes to do things slightly different. And that's-
on the slide that you have to keep your eyes open as well.
Yeah.
Is that right?
In the Shavasanas that are during the practice, eyes open.
And the whole
The
time,
patient-
your eyes open.
Exactly. Only in Shavasana at the end do you close your eyes. Okay, so when you lie in your Shavasana, you're looking up at the ceiling, your eyes are open. It's an active, what he calls an active Shavasana. Is such a thing? But anyway, it's called an active Shavasana, okay? Because mine was part 26. So, okay, so you don't close your eyes are open, and it's an active Shavasana. Okay, that is the sequence. Okay, all of that is practiced in heat, humidity, with a little bit of music, with time correct, hopefully, cueing correct, etc. I want to just talk to you a little bit about props. I'm going to stop the sharing now. I want to talk to you a little bit about props because, like I said to you, I don't have time to, let me just make this a little bit bigger. I don't have time to give people props. So I'm just going to stand there. Sorry, guys, you can face me now. Okay, I don't have time to, oh, why is that back on? Hang on, guys, sorry. Let's get that off. Oh, it's not sharing. No. That's weird. Okay, I don't know why this is not stopping sharing on here. That's a bit weird. Anyway, on Zoom, what are you guys seeing? Are you still seeing that last slide?
No, I just see you.
Just see me? Okay, that's great. Yeah.
Just see you.
What have you done?
Let's just.
Oh, maybe end slideshow? Yes, that's yes, exactly that well. And then click back on. Yeah, well done. Okay, awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna make your Alright, that is your 126 sequence. So if you are wanting to teach it, there's obviously a lot that you have to focus on. But once you've got it, you've got it. And I'm just going to tell you quickly how I got my job as a teacher. I did not
Oh,
get
God,
a job
yeah.
as a teacher.
I can't hear either.
Down the dozen, there's so many of us out there.
We can't hear.
Come here. All right, so I didn't get my job as a teacher, teaching vinyasa. Okay, I did my 200-hour teacher training, and we were trained in vinyasa, Hot 26, and Ashtanga. Okay. When I completed that teacher training, I said to the owner of the studio, I live 2 minutes away, which I did. It was literally around the corner. And I said to him, give me a set of keys. And if you ever need somebody to teach, you can phone me and I'll be there. And that did happen. And he said, I need you to teach Hot 26. I think it was 6 o'clock in the morning. And I literally went down to the studio, opened up, set everything up, taught the Hot 26 class, and then got a permanent slot because it went so well. My job at Yoga Spirits, I got phoned by the studio owner. I've never met her in my life. She phoned me and said, I need somebody to teach Hot 26 in half an hour. Can you be here? I've been referred your name. Can you be here? I said, I'm coming. Okay. Got in my car, went to the studio, taught the Hot 26. Guess what? Got a permanent slot on the schedule. Okay. Then I decided, okay, this is great, but Hot 26 is not what I want to be teaching all the time. So then I said to the studio owners, both of them, I'm only going to teach a Hot 26 if you give me a vinyasa slot as well. Which they did. Okay, so I didn't get a job teaching as a vinyasa teacher. So it might be a little feather in your cap if you have got a Hot 26 training, because Hot 26 teachers are quite hard to come by in Cape Town. I'm not talking about Joburg or anywhere else. I'm talking specifically Cape Town because I don't know about Joburg or anywhere else. And most of the Hot 26 classes at the studios are all at the same time. On a Tuesday at 6 o'clock, or on a Thursday at 6 o'clock. Now, if I have a teacher that's sick,
shoots, I'm going to have to find one because all those teachers are all teaching at the other studios at exactly the same time, weirdly enough. So I'm going to need somebody that I can rely on. And if you have Hot 26, the nice thing about Hot 26 is once you've got the sequence, you have got it. You can walk in, you know what you're doing, and you teach it. Okay, when I'm teaching Vinyasa, I plan a sequence for a week. If somebody phones me on Sunday and says, I want you to come teach Vinyasa now, and I haven't quite got my sequence, I'm not that happy, personally, to go and teach a Vinyasa class unless my sequence is completely perfect and waxed. Whereas if they say you need a Hot 26 teacher, I'll go, awesome, I'll be there in 5 minutes. You walk in, you know the sequence, you know what you're doing, done and dusted, you don't even have to think about it, you can teach the class. A little bit of an advantage maybe. Okay. Yeah. Right. All right, I'm going to give you guys about a 10-minute break, and then we'll actually do a class. I'm going to do one set of each class check. I'm not going to do two. Okay. We'll just do one so you can get a feel for it. You guys don't need to do the whole practice. I just want you to get a feel for the poses so that you know basically what it feels like, and you can judge for yourself whether it feels good in your body, whether it feels uncomfortable, or whatever. All right. Okay, so you're going to break for 10 minutes again. Hey guys, break for 10 minutes, and then we will do a little practice.
Yes, you know. Yeah. It's just very easy to see all the rest and to make the criticism than what you think. Often what the teacher said on the first session that if you can stay, well, you have to stay in the class, and the first challenge is to stay. Right. It used to be 19 minutes. Yes, so yeah. That's the first thing.
If I can say it. And it's not going to be that hard to hear, but anyway, it's a little bit.
Have people pass out in on 26 class?
I've never had anybody pass out in my class, but I think yes. If you have low blood pressure or low blood sugar, because you haven't eaten properly, it could be an issue. But I haven't had anybody pass out, and I think I've heard of one teacher that had somebody pass out.
And high blood pressure?
High blood pressure, as long as it's controlled, as long as you're on medication, then it's okay. If it's uncontrolled blood pressure, it's a bit of a problem. Yeah.
Thinking some people have been in one bath.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes. Yes. So if it's uncontrolled blood pressure, high blood pressure is a little bit of a problem. So people just need to be people who are going through menopause might not want to come and do Hot 26. Why? Because they're getting hot flush anyway. So
true.
yeah, it just so it's not everybody's cup of tea, and maybe certain times of your life it's not going to be something that you want to practice. But if you don't mind the heat and you don't mind having your buttons pushed a little bit because it does challenge you a bit more, then go for it.
So when people feel they can't continue in a class, I've done one class and it was fine, but I was.
You did a Hot 26 class.
I did a hot yoga class at Yo-Yo in Clement.
Oh, okay. Yes.
I don't know if it was the 26 so long ago. I don't know if it was the exact 26.
Okay.
Was it a hot 26?
We used to teach both there. We taught Hot Vinyasa and Hot 26.
Yes, that's
Oh,
what
okay.
Yeah, and it was fine. I mean, it was hectic.
Yeah, it was
fine. As in, I survived.
We just thought, yes, that's okay. Yeah, it is quite a, I wouldn't say it's a hectic sequence. If you do all those poses without the heat, it's actually quite easy. The heat just adds another element of something that's going to challenge you, basically.
Yeah.
You can practice the Hot 26 sequence at home. Absolutely. You don't need the heat to do it.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a hell of a lot easier than doing it in the heat at home.
So you might not see the benefits.
You probably won't, because I think the heat has got, opens up the muscles a little bit more, and it helps to detoxify whatever toxins, whatever, all that kind of stuff as well. So in that aspect, you're gonna not get that, but you're still doing the pose, and you if you did a hot 26 class and you went and did those same poses without the heat, you would notice that it's a lot easier. And the heat definitely just gives you a little bit more something to just push your buttons a bit more. That's why it's a very focused. You find a lot of people that are A-type personalities that are, quite focused and regimented themselves probably enjoy this kind of.
I'm fasting. I'm gonna do it.
Yes,
We're
I
not
know you are.
eating the room, but if I'm just sitting around, I just leave you.
Take it. You can lie down and tell if you want to. Okay, please don't think that you have to kill yourself. Just lie down and tell. Okay. That's fine. You just, okay, so that's fine. Yeah. Just to give you guys a feel for what it's like, so. I'm gonna have to shout. It's horrible to have to shout, but anyway. It's gonna be more like 25, 26 if I shout anyway, so it's but yeah.
What the heat has on your breathing?
Don't see the humidity, like if you're breathing in water.
It's I think in a dry environment without the humidity, it's a bit more difficult to breathe. The humidity does make it, I think, a little bit easier to breathe, but yes, but the heat is oppressive to a certain extent. Sometimes you feel like you're battling to catch it. So, but I think the humidity makes it easier to breathe. The dry heat is a little bit tricky.
Makes sense.
When you switch to the bed 26, would you think that on the original program is exactly the same?
Exactly the same. The only thing that changed was the name.
Okay.
Yeah, the only thing that changed was the name. So no, we don't call it Bikram anymore. I haven't changed my site, but it's not called. I don't think anywhere in the world is called Bikram anymore. It's called Hot 26. As far as I know, all
You must be
students-
devastated.
You must.
You worked so hard to get.
Exactly. You did. And you would have looked at even more if you could have.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But he's still got the money and he's.
No,
still
he doesn't
making
have
money.
the money.
He's
He's not hearing his
free.
name get said.
He's not behind it.
And he's still doing teacher trainings.
Yeah.
So he's still making money, even though he can't come to
Yeah.
work because he'll be arrested straight away. He's still doing his teacher training. So he's still, still
Yeah.
at it.
And I feel gross.
Absolutely awful.
I don't know if you watch this or not.
If you haven't watched it, have you watched it? You should actually. Okay, but now if you listen to some of those testimonials from some of those people idolize him. There's one guy who lost so much weight, and he credits it all to Bikram. He absolutely idolizes him.
They gave him diamond watches.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, so for some people, he was their absolute hero.
So it's very good, cult like.
It is, absolutely, almost like a cult. And in his teacher trainings, they used to have buckets. This is what I've heard because a friend of mine did the teacher training with him. They had buckets in the back of the room, and people used to literally go in buckets in the buckets and carry on. That's how intense the teacher trainings were.
He didn't care.
No, intense. You think I'll have 26 classes straight. His teacher trainings apparently were 100 times worse.
And he was
You see,
mean.
like, he was
Yes,
mean.
yes, he was.
Like a drill sergeant.
Yeah, so it's very, as you say, it is complex. Very much so.
Oh, that's his brother's studio. So my teacher were like very close to Bikram, and they said he saved their life. I mean, you can't. They were abused, and some had to go to the monk training for 2 years because of Bikram. But they will never, even today. And I know that. I think that one of the girls in the movie is actually like, yes, she's doing him, but actually I can tell you she's not like it's a bit like when I saw her, she was like, no, he saved my life. So it's very
They
rare
recognize
that
that
it's
it's
really
a
people
wrong,
that
yeah.
needs him and actually use them after. I mean, he was asking for a massage from but also men were also abused, and they're not saying anything about
But yeah, you did isolate.
You know, it's unfortunate that they have only done a documentary on Bikram, because there have been some accusations against some of the Ashtangi gurus who have also behaved inappropriately. That's what I'm saying to you. Don't slate this whole thing because of him, because otherwise you need to slate, I promise you, a whole, maybe a few types of other yoga as well. So, taking out of the equation, he was a real anonymous person, that's fine, but the sequence, as I said, is amazing. So just if you can hang on to that, then I think that's, I mean, I love the sequence, I love teaching it. I'm not going to not do it because of the person that he was or is, because the sequence is amazing. And very good for balance. You're balancing on one leg a lot. Very good, I told you, for people with shoulder injuries, you can't get down facing dog, and there are a lot. You injure your wrists or your elbows or whatever, and you can't do it in the class. This is a nice alternative. Because as I said, as you saw, there's not one downward facing dog, there's not one flat. It's completely different. Okay, not one warrior two or reverse warrior or whatever. It's completely different. Okay. All right, shall we start? Okay. No pressure, guys. Okay, so I'd like you to come and stand towards the front of your mat. Bring your big toes to touch, bring your breast to touch. Relax your arms down by your side. So stand up nice and tall. Okay, sideways. Alright. Okay, just take a moment to bow your chin down towards your chest and close your eyes. And give yourselves a few seconds here just to settle. To arrive, just clear your mind, clear your thoughts. And we don't breathe through dry pranayama. There's no breath cueing in Heart 26, so you just breathe in and out of your nose, but make sure that you are breathing. All right, you can flick your eyes open. I'm going to demonstrate pranayama breathing. I'll demonstrate one round, and then we'll do it together, so don't move yet, okay? Listen. Don't move. Interlace 10 fingers. Place the first knuckles underneath your chin. Bring the elbows close together. Stand tall. Through the nose, you inhale. As you inhale, you lift your elbows up. It's a count of 6 seconds. Elbows lift up high. That's your inhale. Pause at the top. Open mouth. As you exhale, you let your head go back. You slowly bring the wrists, forearms, and elbows to touch. Elbows lift away from your chest. That is your exhale. We keep going like that. We do 10 rounds. Inhale, chin down, elbows up. Exhale out through the mouth, head back, wrists, forearms, elbows touch. Okay? That's how we do it. All right, ready. Interlace all 10 fingers. Place the first knuckles underneath your chin. Bring your elbows as close together as you can. Feet together. Big toe touch, heel touch. Good. Relax your face, relax your shoulders. Empty all the air out of your lungs. And begin. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. Exhale out of the mouth. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Inhale, slowly chin down, gaze forward. Lift your elbows up. You want to feel like you're getting your forearms to frame your face. Hold your breath at the top. Exhale, head back for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause on empty. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Elbows squeeze. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Elbows nice and high. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Elbows squeeze. Inhale, keep going. Make your inhalations nice and full. Keep the belly drawn in. Keep your chest lifted. Elbows reach up high. Hold. Exhale, let your head soften back. Slowly, your wrists, forearms, and elbows touch. As your elbows touch, you empty your lungs and pause. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 more. Inhale, nice big full breath in. See if you can expand the lungs even more. Elbows high, relax your face. Exhale, breathe more air out of your lungs. Slowly wrists, forearms, elbows touch into your lungs, squeeze your elbows. Last one, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, into your lungs. Change, arms are by your sides, nice guys. Shake out your shoulders, relax the fingers, relax your face. Good. Okay, we start off with Ardha Chandrasana, half moon warm up. Take your arms up above your head, palms of your hands connect. Interlace the fingers, release the index finger, keep your thumbs crossed. Pull your belly in, tuck your tailbone under, and then try and slide your arms in line with your ears if you can. Good, take a big breath in, stretch and reach up. And then over towards your right, take a little side bend as you exhale. Come back into the middle as you inhale, can you reach up nice and tall, stretch up. To the left as you exhale, it's a little side bend. Good. In your own time, your own warm up, you can gently take the body from side to side, so just move at your own pace here. You can do a little back bend if you want to. You can fold forward, you can release your hands, you can bend the knees one at a time, move into the legs. So you have a couple of moments here just to warm up your body in whichever fashion you choose. Keep that connection to your breath. Your lips stay sealed now and you just breathe in and out of your nose. Notice how your body's feeling. Just check in with yourself at the same time. Good. All right, let's meet at the top. We go into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon, arms up, palms of your hands connect, interlace your fingers, release the index finger, your thumbs stay crossed. Pull your belly in, tuck your tailbone under, try and wriggle your arms behind your ears. Here we go, big breath in, stretch up and reach up for a tall. To the right as a side bend as you exhale in over, now you hold this. Bring your right armpit slightly forward in space, and your left hip slightly forward. Keep your arms extended like you're reaching the fingertips out towards your right. Good. Take a little lift of your chin, take a little bit of space between your chin and your chest. Pull harder with your right hand. Can you stretch and spread the left hand side of your body even more? Lean your hips over towards the left. So get your hips outside your left foot. Good. Keep lifting up and out of your lower back. So if you're collapsing down, you lift the chest, lift the tummy, and then you lean over towards the right a little more. Keep your arms pulling in line with your ears, working into the shoulders. Keep your face soft. Make sure you're breathing. Find your edge and reach further and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and change. Good. Big breath in. Stretch up. Go tall. Reach up. Over towards your left as you exhale, as your side bend, Ardha Chandrasana, push your hips over towards the right. Straighten your elbows, extend into your arms. Pull harder with your left hand so you open the right side of your body even more. Lean your hips over, it's like a counterbalance. As you lean your hips to the right, you reach your fingertips more to the left. Good. Keep pulling your belly in, keep tucking your tailbone under. Keep your face relaxed. Lift up your chin like you're holding a tennis ball beneath your chin and your chest. Ground down firmly through both of your feet. Legs are active. Pull the kneecaps up. Switch your quads on. Good. Relax your face. Relax your jaw. Let your body and your breath do the work. And bring your left armpit slightly forward. Good. Find your edge. Reach further. And now hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And change. Good. Move into our back bend. As you inhale, can you lift up and reach up? Keep your legs straight. As you exhale, you're going to lean backwards. Lean backwards. Keep your arms in line with your ears. Don't let your head drop back. Keep lifting up and out of your lower back. So as you jump down, lift your tummy, lift your chest. Good. Send your hips, tummy, thighs forward. So lean back as far as you can. All the way back. Hold for 3, 2, 1, and change. For your forward fold, bend your knees slightly. Reach your arms forward. So you fold forward with a nice long flat back. Fingertips all the way down, release the bind of your hands, and then you can pedal out the legs and move the hips from side to side. Release into that lower back where you've just felt your back bend. You want to make sure that it feels nice and free and comfortable. You can even take a couple of squats if you like. Maybe you open the knees and squat between the legs. Just feel like you have released that tension in your lower back. Good. All right, we move on to Padangusthasana. So take your hand, side them on the back of your calf muscles. Take a 10-finger bind underneath your heels from the back, all of your fingers face forward. And then relax your head and your neck completely. Keep your tummy and chest connected to your thighs. Pull on your heels, try and lift your hips up as much as you can and try and straighten your legs as much as you can. Keep your gaze steady. You're gazing pressing through your legs towards the back of the mat. Relax your head completely back, and the neck is soft and long. Keep that connection, tummy and chest glued to your thighs, no gap there. Good. See if you can tuck your elbows behind your knees. Snuggle yourself in closer. Nice. Now pull on your heels, lift your hips up, straighten your legs as much as you can, and hold. And change. Take your bind in front of you. Take that grip with your fingertips. Reach the arms forward. Then press into the legs. You stand up, arms alongside your ears. And then float your hands down by your sides. Nice, guys. Big toes touch, heels touch, active in your feet. Nice. Okay, moving to orchid squat, Utkatasana. So step your right foot out about 6 inches on the mat. Make sure your toes point straight forward. Pull your belly in, stand up tall, keep your posture. Reach the arms up, they're parallel to the floor. Strong reach to the fingertips, relax your shoulders. Take a big breath in. As you breathe out, sit down like you're sitting into an invisible chair behind you. So stick your bum out and back. Good. Keep your body weight slightly more on your heels. Look down at your knees for a moment. Make sure they're not collapsing in or out. You want your knees to point straight forward and then gaze forward. Even though the hands are reaching forward, don't round your spine. Shrug your shoulders back and down. Good. Take a little lift of your chest, hanging over your legs. Sit lower down into your seat. Sit further back into your heels and hold. Change. Good. Keep your arms as they are. Now lift your heels. Press down into all 10 toes. Keep your legs straight. Keeping your heels lifted. Take a big breath in. And as you breathe out, you start to bend your knees. You're going to lower your hips to about a bar stool height. Try and lean back so you stack your shoulders over your hips. You need to keep your heels lifted. Lift your right heel up, up, up. Lift your left heel up, up, up. Balance on all 10 toes. Pull your belly in. Keep your arms as they are and hold. Change. Sit up on your toes. You straighten your legs. And then land your heels down. Nice, guys. Keep your arms where they are. Good. Final part. Bend the knees. Bring your knees and thighs to touch. Squeeze them together. Lean slightly forward. Let your heels just float off the mat. Take a big breath in. Slowly lower all the way down for 5, 4, 3, 2. See if you can hover your sitting bones just off your heels at the bottom. Squeeze the knees and thighs together. Try not to lean forward. Try and lean back. Stack your shoulders over your hips. Good. Keep your face soft. Keep your chin parallel to the mat. Keep your balance. Press down into your toes. Hold, hold, hold. And come up slowly for 3, 2, 1. And change. Nice, guys. Feet together, hands down by your sides, big toes touch, heels touch, relax your shoulders. Good. Okay, Garudasana Eagle. Take your arms up above your head, palms of your hands touch. Swing your right arm underneath your leg, cross your elbows, cross your wrists, right arm under. Now bend your knees, sit into a low chair, stay low, pull your hands down. Lift your right leg, cross your right leg up and over your left, and you either hold the foot or point towards the back of the mat. Lean forward slightly so you have a compression of the hip joint, but keep your spine long, pull your belly in. Now pull your elbows down. See if you can see over your fingertips. Keep that compression in your limbs, so squeeze the thighs together, squeeze the arms together. Soften your face, don't forget to breathe. Good, balance firmly on that left leg and hold. Feel that compression in the joints. We're working into the elbows, wrists, and what was I going to say? Shoulders. Okay, hold. Nice, and change. Arms up above your head as you inhale, palms of your hands connect. As you exhale, swing your left arm underneath your right, wrap up nice and tight, palms of your hands facing towards each other. Sit low, sit into a low chair. Now stay low, don't straighten your legs, pull your arms down. Lift your left leg up, you lift the left leg and you cross it over the right, come into your Garudasana. Once you're there, you lean forward slightly at the hips, but pull your belly in. Aim to be the shortest person in the room, the longest spine. So bend your standing leg. Yeah, nice, guys. Pull your elbows down towards your belly button. See your eyes, your fingertips underneath your eyes. You normally have a mirror, so you would see your eyes in the mirror. Good. Don't forget to breathe. Belly in. Focus. Concentrate. Meditate. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Squeeze your arms together, working to all 12 joints in your body, and hold. Good, and change. Big breath in, palms of your hands touch over your head, and then arms alongside your thighs. Good. All right, so here you're going to have a water break. If you want to, sip of water, quickly. Quick as you can. Lots of water. See, even with these heaters on, it's not as fun to me. Okay. all right. Okay, we work together as a group. So when you're ready, come to stand. Maybe you stand slightly more towards the middle of your mat or the front of your mat. Big toes touch, heels touch, stand up tall, hands on both sides. Okay, shift your weight into your left leg. Lift your right knee up in front of you, get your thigh parallel to the floor and flex your right toes. Keep your left leg while standing on straight. Quick as you can now, fold forward, take an interlace of your hands underneath the ball of your foot. Make sure that you include your thumb in that grip. Check where your thumb is. If it's on top of your foot, get it underneath your foot. Keep your standing leg straight. Now lower that right leg so that you get your right thigh parallel to the floor. Bring that right leg slightly forward so that that heel is underneath your knee. Keep your standing leg straight. Gaze forward if you can, or look down so you keep your sense of balance. Keep that foot in your hands light. If you take your hands away, nothing changes. That foot stays exactly where it is. Okay, so you're not dumping down. Pull your belly in and up. Think about lifting away from the floor. Get a sense of lightness in your pose. Roll your shoulders back and down away from your ears. Keep your standing legs straight. Don't forget to breathe. And you hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and one. Change. Feet together. Nice, guys. Stand up tall. Relax your shoulders. Open your face. Good. Shift your weight into your right leg. Lift your left leg up in front of you. Thigh parallel to the floor. Flex your left toes. Keep your standing leg straight. It must be straight. Good. Now fold forward. Interlace the hands underneath the ball of your left foot. Include all 10 fingers. That includes your thumb. If you had to bend your standing leg to fold forward, you now re-straighten it. Lower the left leg, get your thigh parallel to the floor. Bring that left foot slightly forward, the ankle is underneath the knee. Keep that foot in your hands nice and light. So use your abdominal muscles, pull the belly in. Take tension out of your lower back. Shoulders roll away from the ears, make some space. Keep your standing leg straight, it must be straight. If it's bending, you're not doing the pose, so you keep your standing leg straight. Keep your face soft, keep your jaw relaxed. Keep breathing space into that left leg. And the right one, actually, the one that you're balancing on. Good. Maintain your balance, maintain your focus. Keep rolling shoulders away from the ears and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Change. Nice, guys. Feet together, hands down on your sides. Stand up tall. If you need a release for your lower back, take your hands to your lower back and then just send your hips to meet nicely. Just soft release before we move to the second set. Good. All right, stand up tall. We're going to do the second set, this one, because I want you to kick that leg out. Okay. Stand on your left leg. Lift your right leg up in front of you. Thigh parallel to the floor. Flex your right toes. Keep your standing leg straight. Pull your belly in. Quick as you can now, fold forward. Take that interlace of all 10 fingers underneath the ball of your foot. And then lower your right leg at your right thigh parallel to the floor. Keep your standing leg straight. From here, you start to kick the right heel forward. You want your front leg is parallel and straight to the mat. Keep pulling on your toes so that you have a flex in your right foot. If you can, you now tuck your elbows underneath your calf muscles. Final action is forehead to your knee. You try and tuck your forehead to your knee and look down at your standing foot. And hold just for 3, 2, and 1. Change. Nice, guys. Feet together, hands up by your side, stand up tall. Good. Big toes touch, heels touch. Nice. Breathe. Good. Shift your weight into your right foot. Lift your left leg up in front of you. Thigh parallel to the floor. Pause there. Keep your standing leg straight. Quick as you can, suck in your tummy, fold forward, interlace all 10 fingers underneath the ball of your foot. Keep the round into the spine, shoulders away from the ears. Lower your left leg, get your left thigh parallel to the floor. Keeping your standing leg straight. Start to kick the left heel forward. You can take a little lift of your chest, give yourself some space. Get that leg parallel to the floor and keep both of your legs straight. If you want more, start to tuck the elbows under the calf muscles. Final action is forehead to knee. Tuck your chin, get your forehead to the knee, gaze down at your right foot. Wherever you are, balance and breathe and hold. Just for 3, for 2, and for 1. Change. Nice. Feet together. Good. Breathe. In and out of the nose. Good. All right. You're going to standing boat pose. Standing boat pose. Bend your right elbow into your waist. Keep your palm of your hand facing up. Without moving your shoulder, in other words, without twisting your hand to close off your shoulder, keep it open. Lift your right leg up behind you and grip your ankle from the inside. Good. Bring your knees and thighs to touch. Lift your left arm up in line with your ear. Turn the palm of your hand to face forward. Take a big breath in. Can you lift that left arm up higher and listen? As you exhale, don't lean forward. Just start to kick that leg away from you. Kick that leg even higher. That foot into your hand. Get that leg further away from you. Make space between your thigh and your body. Once you've got that leg up as high as you can, now you start to tilt your upper body forward and reach the left fingertips forward. Try roll your right hip down so that you level out your hips. Can you gaze over your left fingertips? Look forward if you can, not down. Good. Keep kicking your foot hard and back into your hand. Get your foot above your head. Keep reaching the left fingertips forward. While you're doing this, make sure you're breathing with a calm, soft face. Keep kicking hard and back. Keep reaching forward. And don't forget to breathe. And hold it, guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Change. Nice, guys. Feet together, hands down. Catch your breath. In and out, in and out through the nose. Nourishing breaths. Breathe. Good. Bend your left elbow into your waist, palm faces up. Lift your left leg up behind you, grip your ankle from the inside. Don't close off your shoulder. Yes. Bring your knees and thighs to touch. Lift your right arm up in line with your ear, palm of your hand faces forward. Big breath in, stretch out to the right arm. As you exhale, just kick. Get that leg away from you. Kick that foot into your hand, even higher. Keep your balance with your eyes. Kick that leg up even higher. When you've got it as high as you can, then you start to, with control, tilt your upper body forward and reach the right fingertips forward. Can you gaze over your right hand? Let your left shoulder relax. Pull your belly in and drop your left hip down so that your hips are squared off to your mat. Good. Keep your gaze steady. Keep your breath moving. If you fall out, it's okay. You have time to get back in. So get back into your pose and do your best. Keep reaching forward with your right hand. Keep kicking your left foot up and back. Reach forward. Kick up and back. Hold it. You've got it. 3, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Change. Nice, guys. Are you guys feeling this?
Yeah.
Good. Feet together. Hands down. Nice, guys. Okay. Take a couple of steps towards the back of your mat. Chaturanga stand balancing stick. I'll do this from the side with you. Back of your mat. Big toes touch, heels together. Take your arms up above your head. If you find that same bind, palms touch, interlace the fingers, release the index finger, thumb stay crossed. Get your arms in line or behind your ears. Pull your belly in. Take a big step forward with your right foot, hover your left toes just off the floor. As you inhale, straight and reach up. And as you exhale like a capital T, you're going to lower your upper body down and kick the left leg up behind you. Tuck the chin, you're gazing down at the floor. Get your ears in line with your bicep muscles. Point your back foot. You're kicking that foot towards the back of the mat. Reach forward with the fingers like you're trying to touch the front of the room and keep kicking that left foot hard and back. While your left hip slightly down in space, your hips are level. Good. Hold and breathe. And change. Step back. Feet together. Arms above your head. Keep your arms where they are. Keep working. Good. Take a big step forward with your left foot. Hover your right toes just off the floor. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale to a capital T shape. Upper body parallels the mat and that back leg parallels the floor as well. Keep your ears in line with your arms. Good. Good. Point the back toe. Keep that foot active and kick that foot away from you as much as you reach your fingertips forward. Pull your belly in and drop your right hip down slightly. Get your hips level towards the mat. Hold and breathe. Nice, and change. Take your feet back. Well done, guys. Now relax your arms out by your sides, giving them very big toes touch, heels touch. Good. Okay, take a couple of steps towards the front of your mats and then turn to face towards your right, whichever way that you do that. Okay, so you guys won't be able to see it, and you'll just have to listen, which you should be doing anyway. All right, moving into our standing leg stretching series. Take your arms up above your head, palms of your hands touch. Now take a big step out towards the back of the mat with your right leg, and as you do that, make sure your toes are parallel. Then lower your hands to a T, check that your wrists are over your ankles. In other words, your legs are wide. Keep your spine straight. As you inhale, take a big breath in, lengthen. And as you exhale, you fold forward. Hinge from your hips like you're diving down. See if you can take a grip behind your heels. And then don't tuck your chin. Lift your chin. You're gazing down the top edge of your mat. Shift your body weight forward into your toes. Keep your legs straight and active and relax shoulders away from the ears. Now use your legs. Pull on your legs, bend your elbows. And you want to pull the forehead down to the mat as close as you can. Using that grip, bend your elbows. Pull on your legs. Good. And change. Arms out wide. Lift yourself up and out. Palms of your hands touch overhead. Step your feet together, top of your mat. And let your arms down by your sides. Good. Okay. We move on. Trikonasana. Arms up above your head. Palms of your hands touch. Take that same big step out towards the back of the mat. Toes parallel. Lower your arms to a T. Turn the palms of your hands to face forward. Now turn your right toes up 90 degrees. They're facing towards the back of your mat. And bend your right knee nice and low. You can bounce into it a few times. Feel it out. Stop when your knee is over your ankle and keep your legs absolutely dead still. Tuck your tailbone. Now, reach the right hand forward, forward, forward over your front knee. And then lower the right hand down, elbow inside your knee, and left arm straight up towards the ceiling. You've got it. Keep that bend in your right leg. If your neck is comfortable, you look up at your top hand, or you can just look forward or down. Push your right elbow into that knee. Keep your fingertips of your right hand off the floor. They're hovering just off the mat. Yes. Keep that knee open. Keep that knee tracking over your right toes. Pull your belly in. Make sure you're breathing and hold. 3, 2, 1, and change. Straighten the right leg. Arms out. Turn the right toes in. Turn the left toes out 90 degrees or 45 degrees. Beg your pardon. Towards the front of your mat. Bend nice and deep into that left leg again. So you can bounce into it a few times. Make sure you have a nice wide stance between your legs. Keep your legs absolutely still. Tuck your tailbone under. Big reach of the left arm forward. And then lower the left hand down. Right arm up towards the ceiling. Your left fingertips hover off the floor. Press weight into the outside blade of your back foot. Keep that generous bend in your left knee. Push your elbow into your knee so that you're keeping that knee open. Good. If your gaze is comfortable, look up at your top hand. You need your breath here, guys, so make sure you breathe in. Hold for 3, 2, 1, and change. Straighten the left leg. Bring the toes parallel. Step your feet together. Palms touch above your head. Good. And then relax your arms down by your sides. Good. Okay, standing separate head to knee. Arms up. Palms of your hands touch. Cross just your thumbs. Take a smaller step out towards the back of the mat. It's about 1/2 meter. Now pivot on your toes and get everything to face towards the back. So your right toes face towards the back. Your left foot is at 45 degrees with the heel flat. Good. Take a big breath in, lift and lengthen. Then tuck your chin to your chest, and as you exhale, dive over your right leg. Keep the bind of your hands, and then you want your forehead to touch your knee. So bend the right leg as much as you need to get that forehead to knee connection. If you need to separate your hands, you can separate them now. Can you bump your right hip back in space and your left hip forward so that you level out your hips? Make that forehead to knee connection, guys. Use your abdominal muscles. Pull your belly in and up. Get that forehead to your knee. Good. Make sure your back heel is flat. If your hands are apart, bring them back into prayer. Cross your thumbs and straighten your arms in front of your right foot. Good. And change. Slowly, you come up and out. Turn towards the front of the mat. Pivot everything to face towards the other side. Right foot is at 45 degrees. Good. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Tuck your chin round your spine. Exhale, round, round, round. Particularly through the other back. Dive your fingertips to the floor. Get your forehead to knee. It's a forehead to knee connection. Good. Use your abdominal muscles. You should feel this in those muscles as you pull the belly in and up. Get that forehead to knee connection even better. Make sure your back leg is straight and your heel is flat. Nice. And bend the front leg as much as you need to. Relax your head, but tuck your chin. Good. If your hands are apart, bring them back into prayer. Try and straighten your arms. And change. Slowly up and out. Turn towards the front of your mat. Step your feet together. Relax your arms down by your sides. Good. All right, now you turn to face towards the front of your mat again, and you step towards the middle of your mat, moving into tree and toe stand. Stand weight on your left foot. Pull the right knee up towards your chest. Take your foot from underneath and guide your foot over towards your left hip crease. The sole of your foot faces up towards the ceiling. You hold your foot from underneath with your left hand, and you bring your right hand to your heart space. Make sure your spine is straight, stand up tall. If it doesn't work for you, you can take additional tree. You stay exactly where you are. Breathe. Relax the shoulders, pull your belly in. Feel the energy in your standing foot, your left one. Now, if you want toe stand, hinge forward from the hips. Everybody go. I'll do it anyway. Take your hands slightly away from you, so that you can drop your hips down, sitting bone just hovers off your left heel is lifted. Then you walk your hands back towards you. Then you see if you can bring your hands to prayer and catch a balance. It is tricky, expect it to be. Yes, good. Yes, oops. Guys. Good. Okay, and change. Hands away from you. Use your hands to lift your hips so you're not using your knees. Walk your hands back towards you. Hold the foot from underneath and you come back into your tree pose. Whoops, and replay. Good. I'm falling out. And change. Keep your right leg forward and then feet together. Hands on the left side. Good. Relax your face, relax your shoulders. Good. Shift your weight to your right leg. Lift your left leg up in front of you. Take your foot, guide it over towards your right hip crease. So get that foot up nice and high. Hold your foot from underneath with your right hand. Bring your left hand to your heart space. Let your left knee point down. Good. Stand up tall. Pull the belly in. Level out your shoulders. Make sure you're not leaning over to one side or the other. If you're staying in tree, you stay. Toe stands hinge forward from your hips. Take your fingertips away from you so you can safely drop your sitting bone down. Once you have that, right heel off the floor, walk your hands back towards you. Press into the toes of the right foot and bring your hands to pray at your heart. See if you can catch a balance. If you can't, it doesn't matter, you do the best that you can. Hold it wherever you are, if you can. Good. Nice, and change. Hands away from you, lean forward, lift and straighten your standing leg. Take your left hand underneath your right foot and bring your left hand back to your heart space. Lean back in tree. Nice, and change. Left leg kicks forward towards the front of your mat. And then feet together, hands down. Nice. Shavasana. Turn around, round your back. Head towards the front of the room. Feet towards your back. Get in as quickly as you can. For this Shavasana, bring your heels to touch. Arms close to your hips, palms face up. Keep your eyes open, relax your feet, but keep your eyes open. And you just connect to your breath. So feel the breath moving in and out of your nose. Slow it down. Feel the beating of your heart. Feel the energy and the heat in your body from all that hard work. And take a moment to rest, active Shavasana. Keep your face soft, relax your jaw. Okay, normally you would be here for about 2 minutes, but we're going to move on. If your heels aren't touching, bring your heels to touch. And we move on with wind removing pose. Keep your left leg where it is. Pull the right knee up towards your chest, interlace your hands on the shin and pull the knee in towards you as you flex both of your feet. Take the knee out towards your right armpit slightly, avoid the ribs, and then pull the knee back in towards the midline. So you're effectively leaving the ribs out of it. Pull the knee down, you want to compress into that right hip flexor. Pull harder with your left hand so you keep the left side of your body rooted to the floor. And then keep the left heel away from you. So get nice and long on that left leg, pull the right leg in. We'll do one round of breath together. Take a big breath in through the nose. As you breathe out through the nose, pull that leg nice and tight, compress, 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 hold. And change. Right leg extends out. Pull your left knee up towards your chest, interlace hands on the left shin, and then you pull the knee down, out towards your left armpit, and then back in towards the midline of your body. Tuck your chin a little, like you're trying to look towards your left knee. Flex both of your feet, and as much as you're pulling the left leg down, you're kicking out to the right heel, trying to kick that right heel away from you. Good. Feel that compression, that left hip flexor. Relax your shoulders, soften your face, but keep a strong connection of your hands on your shin. Take a big breath in through the nose, pulling the belly up towards your thigh. As you exhale, pull that leg in nice and tight, hold it, and change. Good. Okay, straight away, both hands up towards your chest, and now you see you can wrap your arms across your shins, and maybe hold opposite elbows. If you can't, you can just interlace your fingers, or just grab forearms. Lower your lower back down to the floor so that your whole spine is on the mat. And as you have the knees in towards you, you want to feel like you're pushing your legs up into your arms, so you're working in 2 different directions. You can relax your feet or you can point your toes, it's up to you. But make sure your spine is long, back of the head is on the mat. Take a big breath in, balloon the belly up towards your thighs. As you exhale, pull the knees in nice and tight, compress, hold, and change. Extend the legs out, arms alongside you, back to your Shavasana just for a moment. Okay, we're going to move into our Bikram sit-up. So bring your feet together and flex your toes. Feet together, not bring your knees, legs are straight. Take your arms up and over your head and cross just your thumbs. Okay, we'll do the first one slowly. Take a big breath in, hold your breath. Still holding your breath, sit up to 90 degrees. Good. And then out through the mouth, it's a double exhale as you reach for your toes. Shh, as you reach for your toes. Good. Okay, turn around, face the front of the mat, and you're going to lie down on your tummy, set yourself up for Bhujangasana Cobra. Untuck the tops of your feet to the floor, hands underneath the shoulders, start with your chin or your forehead on the mat. Empty all the air out of your lungs. As you inhale, lift up into your Cobra. Lift your chest up, say light in your hands, you're not using your hands. Maybe the tops of your feet down. Good. If you want to, you can lift your hands off the floor. Now lower your hands down nice and lightly, so you can lift up a little bit higher, use your back body strength. And change, lower down. Left ear to the floor, look towards your right. Hands alongside you, bring your big toes to touch, let your heels flop out. Big toes touch, heels flop out, relax, breathe. Relax your glutes, don't squeeze your bum, you want to relax your lower back. Good. Right, we move on the half locust, look forward, chin to the floor. Take your hands in the palms of your hands to face down. You're going to wriggle your arms underneath you. This is a little bit uncomfortable. Get your pinky fingers to touch. Have your chin on the floor. Untuck your toes. If this is too much for your neck, you can kiss the mat with your lips. Empty all the air out of your lungs. As you inhale, you just lift your right leg up. Just your right leg. High as you can. Point your toe. Sole of your foot is trying to touch the ceiling. Good. Roll your left hip down so you feel your hip on your, your right hip down so you feel that right hip on your hand. Lift that right leg up a little bit higher, higher, higher. And change, lower it down. Good. Empty all the air out of your lungs. As you inhale, left leg up as high as you can. Point your toe, lock the knee. That leg is super straight. Good. Keep pressing the hands down to ground your feet up back like a hunchback. Roll the left hip down, feel the hip on your hand. Lift that left leg up as high as you can. Change. Okay. Now, like a little caterpillar, tuck your toes. Shift your upper body more forward so you get your hands lower, closer down towards your feet. And then you can lower your body down back onto your hands. Okay, so everybody for this one, kiss the mat with your lips. Listen carefully. We're going to kick both legs up, don't move yet. You need to do it on an empty breath, like a Valsalva maneuver, okay? So with me, and don't think the legs are going to float up on their own, they're not, you need to kick them up. Ready? So, take a big breath in. Take a big breath out. At the bottom, kick your feet up, both of them. Kick, 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 kick up. Keep your chin on the floor, lips on the floor. Round it up the back, push down into your arms and your hands. Kick your legs up, 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 up. And change. Nice, guys. It's uncomfortable, I know. Take your hands up underneath you, wiggle your fingers, right into the floor. Big toes touch, heels flop out. Breathe, relax. Good. Okay, full lotus, look forward, chin to the floor, untuck your toes, bring your feet together. Take your arms up nice and wide to a capital T shape alongside you. If you have someone close to you, you can take your arms forward, or you can take your arms towards your feet. Otherwise, they're out like a capital T shape. Okay, empty all the air out of your lungs. And as you inhale, you fly everything up. Lift your feet up, turn the palms of your hands to face forward, thumbs up. Good. See if you can lift the legs up just as much as you lift in your chest. Beautiful. Fly up a little bit higher, all the way up to the top. And change. Lower down. Good. Left ear to the floor. Arms down. Big toes touch. Heels flop out. Relax. Breathe. Last one. Dhanurasana floor bow. Look forward. Your chin is on the floor. Bend your knees behind you. Take a grip on the outside legs of your feet, just underneath your toes. If you can't grab your feet, take your knees out wider. Once you have your feet, bring your knees as close together as you can. Chin or forehead on the mat or lips on the floor. Empty your lungs. As you inhale, you kick your feet up into your hands and you peel your chest off the floor into your floor bow. Balance on the soft part of your tummy, so don't rock backwards and forwards. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Think about your quad muscles, your thigh muscles. Can you get them higher off the floor? Good. Kick up a little bit higher, higher, higher. And change. Beautiful, guys. Left ear to the floor. Last time, hands alongside you, big toes touch, heels flop out. Right into the floor. Beg your pardon. Thank you. We're looking towards your left, guys. Yeah. Good. Okay, this is practically the first time you use your arms. Look forward. Take your hands underneath your shoulders, untuck your toes. Like a little push-up, you're going to lift yourself up, slide your sitting bones back, and then just walk your knees till you're about halfway up your mat. Okay, and then you sit down on your heels. We're coming into fixed firm pose. Okay, from here you see if you can separate your feet outside your hips, and you see if you can sit your sitting bones down between your heels. If you can't, you keep the heels together and you just sit. Okay, if you are comfortable here, you can separate the knees a bit, but don't let them lift off the floor. If you're comfortable here, you hold onto your feet and you lower down one elbow at a time, going really slow. If you're comfortable here, you lower all the way down. I'm not going to do it because it doesn't feel comfortable for me, but you can lower all the way down. If you're sitting, hold opposite elbows and pull your arms apart. If you're all the way down, hold opposite elbows, pull your arms apart, tuck your chin and lift your chest up. So there's almost like a little back bend into the upper back. Good, guys. Nice. Make sure there's no pain, please, in your hips, knees, or ankles. Most importantly, in your knees. And you just relax and you breathe. It's a good stretch for the hip flexors. If you're comfortable, you can just stay there. And we're in this one for quite a while. It's about 40 seconds, so it's quite a long hold, this one. I'm not going to let you stay there for the whole time. Okay, very slowly hold onto your feet. If you're coming out from the bottom, up onto one elbow at a time, lift yourself up and out. Good. Turn around, Shavasana, head towards the front, feet towards the back. Let this feel nice to extend your legs out. And then you keep your Shavasana active, eyes open, hands alongside you. You feel the blood return to your lower limbs. Let's sit up, bring your feet together, flex your toes. Arms up and over your head, connect across just your thumbs. Take a big breath in, hold your breath. Sit up halfway, out to the mouth, double exhale, reach your toes. Nice, guys. Turn around, face the front. Sit on your knees. Again, moving to half towards Ardha Uttanasana, sitting bones on your heels. Keep your sitting bones on your heels. Arms up above your head, palms touch, cross just your thumbs. Big breath in, lift and lengthen the chest. As you exhale, you're going to hinge forward, keep your sitting bones on your heels. You're going to reach the fingertips to the front of your mat and then relax your forehead down. Once your fingertips are on the floor, press into your fingertips, lift your wrists off the floor and your elbows off the floor. Yes, keep the cross of your hands with your thumbs crossed. Yes, you don't change that. Palms of your hands touch. Arms, yes. Now straighten your arms. Good. Keep your sitting bones connected to your heels. Should feel like quite a restorative pose. So see if you can just find a sense of relaxation here, even though your arms are super active. Good. Keeping your sitting bones on your heels. Start to lift yourself out. Keep your ears in line with your bicep muscles. Lift up, sit up tall. You've got it. And put your arms alongside you. Okay, from here, we're not going to do it. But what we would do now is Shavasana, Bikram sir, turn around and face the front. We're going to move straight on. We're going to come into camel. Lift your sitting bones away from your heels. Separate your knees hip width distance apart. If you need to measure, make a fist with both of your hands. Take the jab with the correct distance between your knees. Both fists between your knees. Yep. Okay, then sit up. Take your hands to your lower back. Fingertips face down, almost like you're sliding your hands into jeans pockets. Good. Send your hips, tummy, thighs forward. Lift your chest, lift your gaze up. And then you lean back as far as you can go. Either stay with your hands to your lower back, or now reach down one hand at a time and hold your heels. Once you have that, lift your chest up, send your hips and thighs and tummy forward. And don't drop your head back, you can't breathe. Lift your head up so that your throat is neutral and you can comfortably breathe in and out of your nose. Feel your shoulder blades squeeze together, feel the front of your heart lift up towards the ceiling and breathe into your camel. Nice, you guys. Okay, come out slowly, take your hands to your lower back. Use that to lift yourself out. Sit your sitting bones down onto your heels just for a moment, hands to your thighs. Shavasana, this one you don't move out. Turn around, get into your Shavasana and let everything about that back bend settle. It spikes your heart rate, it spikes your breathing. Just let it all return to normal as you lie in your Shavasana for a few moments. Good. Let's sit up, feet together, flex your toes, arms overhead, cross just your thumbs. Take a big breath in, hold a breath, sit up, double exhale. Nice. Turn around. You're coming into Sasangasana, rabbit pose. Sitting on your knees again. Take a grip on your heels with your thumbs facing outwards and your fingers facing inwards. So make sure you're holding the tops of your feet nice and tight. Thumbs out, fingertips in. You're going to roll forward like a wheel. So you lift your hips away from your heels, you tuck your chin, and you roll forward like a wheel, tuck your chin right in and get the middle of the top of your head to press into the floor. Good. Hold onto your feet, let your arms become straight and strong like cables. Top of your head on the floor, not your forehead, please. Tuck the chin right in. Now pull your belly in and up, round through the spine. Good. Hold onto your feet. Don't let your feet lift off the floor. You need to press the tops of your feet down. Nice, guys. Beautiful. Good. And then change. Slowly, just let your sitting bones connect back to your heels. Sit up. You can rest your hands on your thighs. Okay, we're coming straight into Janu from here. Swing your hips over towards your left. Extend your right leg to the right corner of your mat. Bring the left foot in, the sole of your foot touches the inside of your right thigh. Turn slightly to face your right leg and flex your foot. Arms up over your head. Interlace the hands. Okay, now you fold forward over that leg, interlace around the ball of the foot. And it's a forehead to knee connection, guys. So you bend the right knee as much as you need to get your forehead to press into your knee. If you can do it with a straight right leg, that's fine. Now roll your left shoulder down. Square out your shoulders. Good. Keep a strong flex in that right foot. And then relax your shoulders by bending your elbows a little. Good, guys. Nice. Forehead to knee connection. Press the space between the eyebrows into the knee. And change. Keep your hands. Keep that back. Lift your arms up. Change your legs out without using your hands. Left leg out. Right foot in. Good. Flex the left foot. Turn to face the left foot. Fold forward. Interlace your hands on the ball of your foot. And you bend the left knee as much as you need to. Again, make sure it's a forehead to knee connection. On this side, roll your right shoulder and your right rib cage down a little. Yes, beautiful. Keep tucking your chin right in, compressing to the thyroid gland. Nice big expansion and extension into the kidneys around the backbone. Good. Soften your shoulders by bending your elbows. Good. And then you should feel the tension drain out of your neck as well. Good. All right, change, lift yourself up and out. Listen carefully. Straighten your legs out in front of you. Slowly roll all the way down onto your back. So just make sure there's nothing behind you. Flex the feet, take your arms up and over your head. Cross just your thumbs, get ready for your sit. Take a big breath in. Hold your breath. Sit up. Lean forward. Good. Okay, keep your legs out in front of you. Bend your knees. Reach forward, take a peace finger behind your first two fingers and your thumb around your big toe. Now, wiggle your hips, move them backwards so you straighten your legs a little bit more. Get ready for your forward fold. Take an inhale to lift your chest and lengthen. And as you exhale, you fold over your legs. Keep it foot feet flexed like you're trying to stand on something at the front of the room. Lift your chin, look forward. Yep, look forward. Relax your shoulders. Good. Breathe space into your whole back body. Keep your feet flexed. I have to bend my knees a little bit because my hamstrings are really tight. Good. And then right at the end, just relax your neck and your head for a moment. Good. And then lift yourself up and out. Keep your left leg where it is. Bend your right leg and cross it over the leg. Get ready for your twist. You can now bend the bottom leg, but when you do that, make sure both sitting bones are on the floor. If you're rocking onto your left sitting bone only, then keep your left leg extended. Take your right hand, place it behind you, close to your spine. As you inhale, lift the left arm up. And as you exhale, you twist with the elbow outside the knee, and then you look over your right shoulder. If you can, try this, guys. Reach down with your left hand and hold onto your right knee. If you can. That's the proper twist. Take your right foot, do me a favor, and place it in front of your left knee. Now reach down and hold onto your right knee. Can you get it? Yes. Okay, that's the proper twist. Now you look over your right shoulder. Good. Use your hand, press it down, lengthen the spine on your inhales, and then twist it over more on your exhales. Good, nice guys, beautiful. And change your forward. Okay, cross the legs other way. Right leg straight, left leg up and over. Bend the right leg underneath you. Make sure both sitting bones are flat. Make sure your left foot is slightly in front of your right knee so that you can reach down and hold that knee when you get there. Left hand behind you, close to your spine. Inhale the right arm up, and as you exhale, twist. Start with the hooking of the elbow on the knee, and then see if you can reach down and hold your right knee. And then you push your arm into that left leg so you can twist a little bit deeper, and look over your left shoulder. Good. Both sitting bones on the floor. Relax your shoulders. Tuck your chin a little. Back of the neck is nice and soft. Nice, guys. Beautiful. Lengthen on the inhales. Use your left hand, and twist a bit more on your exhales. Really nice, you guys. And change, look forward. Okay, last one, posture number 26, Kapalabhati breathing. Please sit on your knees. If this is uncomfortable, you can sit cross-legged. Okay, once you're there, rest your hands on your thighs. I always demonstrate this one, so I'm going to show you exactly how I demonstrate it. I actually even lift my top so you can see my tummy. Okay, so what you do is you take a big breath in. As you breathe in, you push the belly out, so your belly nice and soft. And then your exhales look like this. Snap the navel in and up. As you do that, you breathe the air out of your mouth. I'm going to clap with my fingertips on my hand. So it's going to look like this. So we all keep the same pace. Okay.
Out of the mouth.
Out of the mouth. Don't worry about your inhales. Your inhales take care of themselves. All you need to do is focus on that exhale. Then snap at the navel to breathe the air out. So you start off with a full breath of lungs, or whatever, and then you just focus on your exhalations and inhales, just happen automatically. Okay. If you like, you can even place one hand to your tummy because that might help with coordination. Okay. Sit up nice and tall, hands out on your thighs. Remember, you don't use your shoulders, you just use your belly button. Okay. We'll just synchronize with the big round of breath together. So just as you are, take a big breath into the nose. Open your mouth, big sound. Okay, ready, seal your lips. Big breath in, hold your breath, let your belly push out, and you go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Wheel up, nice guys. Take a deep breath in. Open your mouth, big sigh. Bring your hands to your heart space, bow chin down towards your fingertips. Seal off your practice in whichever fashion you choose. And then you turn around into your final Shavasana. And guys, have a proper Shavasana for a few minutes. So do it, turn around, head towards the front, head towards the back. And then this one is traditional Shavasana, arms and legs out wide. And close your eyes. Maybe just notice how your body feels after that Kapalabhati breathing. Does it feel energized? Or are you able to settle into your Shavasana just like you would at the end of any other class that you've done? Just notice. Just notice. All right, and then when you are ready, there's no rush. You can have a good few minutes more. You can slowly, when you are ready, come out of your Shavasana and we'll meet in a seat for a quick little discussion so that we can close off. Don't rush, guys. When you are ready, move. Right, okay. Well done, guys. Did anybody absolutely hate that? No? Good. Did you feel it? Did you feel the standing sequence? Did you feel it in your legs? Okay. Can you understand maybe why a beginner would be able to manage this class?
No.
Or not?
No.
No?
Strength.
Okay. Okay. Very difficult. What do you mean strength? You mean stand on the balancing? It's tricky, eh? Yeah. And then standing near to me, difficult?
It's very difficult. My daughter's never done yoga and she's strong, but she's never done yoga. She'll never do that.
No, it's difficult. That's a strong focus.
What I find most difficult is, I mean, all those balance poses, you know,
Yes.
something that's difficult to me.
Yes.
And I'm trying to listen to all the cues, but sometimes I'm trying to like focus onto one point, and I can see my body wobbling, and I see other people wobbling, and I'm like I have missed half of the cues because I think the more you do it, the more you actually know what to
Yes,
do.
exactly.
Yes. So like the first time like that, it's kind of like
Difficult.
it's a lot of
Yeah.
It is. I told you, don't chat for an hour, literally. Okay, I have to just talk. I have to get you guys in, make you hold it and get you out. Without touching you, without doing a thing. Oh, what I wanted to tell you was props. Okay, so if I see somebody in a class, if they're a beginner or it's the first time that I've noticed, like for example in floorbow, they can't reach their feet. They can't grab their feet. Or I noticed in fixed firm that some of them might be comfortable with a block underneath the sitting bones just to lift the hips. When they walk out of the class, I say to them, next time, take a strap and tell the teacher to help you with your Dhanurasana. Or take a block and put it underneath your sitting bones when you go into fixed firm. What I sometimes do is, like for example, if I've got people in bow who need a strap for their feet. Sometimes, most of the time, I know my two regulars. I have two people in one class, okay? And they're normally on opposite ends of the class. So I literally run towards the one side, help the lady get the strap around her feet, run towards the other side, get the guy the strap around his feet, and then we go up into floor bow. I don't have time during a class to go, oh, you can't reach your feet, don't worry, I'll go get your strap. So they might battle the first couple of times, and then if I notice, I will tell them when they come out so that they can do whatever they need to or bring a prop for the next class that they come to.
So isn't it maybe good, say we in a books and class,
Yes.
shouldn't you say to them, if you can't do this, for the class, have this with you?
What I do sometimes, it's difficult because I'm sorting out my room, whatever. I might not see everybody that arrives to sign up for the class. So I can't.
And
if
the
there's-
receptionist can't.
No, they don't give any info at all. It's all left up to the teacher. So if I see somebody and they come in as a beginner, I tell them, you do what you can. If you can't do something, you sit down or you lie in child's pose. That is it. Don't stand up watching everybody else. Don't fiddle, don't faff. You sit down or you lie down. So why? So that you don't interfere with the focus of everybody else. So they are allowed to take a break. I don't try to kill everybody. You are allowed to take a break, especially beginners. Child's pose is there for you. You can take a break whenever you need. It's still yoga, let's not forget. Okay? It's still yoga, it's not boot camp. Although it may feel like it. It's still yoga. So you still want them to have that sense of meditation. You still want them to focus on their breathing. But if they run out of their breath and they lose their energy, they can have a break. Okay, and then I'll watch the beginners. It's amazing. You say it's difficult, but I promise you'll be amazed at what beginners do. Also, don't forget, guys, you normally have a mirror, which is a big help, which helps the beginners because not only can they see themselves, but they can see other people in the room. I put my beginners in the middle of the room.
Watch somebody else.
They can watch, and when we turn around, they've got somebody to watch when we face in the opposite direction. So I tell my beginners, please stand in the middle, because most people like to go to the back. No. Stand in the middle. Because when we turn around, you can see what's going on.
Do you make sure everyone can see, like, because imagine if you're dancing, you look at yourself in your eyes and you get a little bit easier because
You need to look at yourself. You look at,
see.
I normally would be cueing. Look at your eyes in the mirror. There's no mirror here, so I'm not cueing. Okay, but normally I would be. Focus, your gaze, your eyes. You don't look at anybody else. Because if you look at somebody else and they fall out, guess what happens to you? You fall out. Okay, and it's guaranteed. I promise you it will happen. So that is why it is so focused. You are focusing on yourself and yourself only. You cannot have distractions with people fiddling and faffing. If they're falling out of the pose, that's fine. They can't help that. But they can't be reaching for their water bottle and then standing up and making a big or whatever, or putting on their clothes, or you can't. Okay, because you're gonna interfere with everybody else's practice, so it's very regimental, it's very strict. I actually went back to Yoga Spirit where I hadn't taught a class for a while, and halfway through the class, I had people walking to the back of the room to go and get tissues, and I was like, what the hell is going on? Well, the next week when I went back to teach that class, they got a lecture at the start. If you need a tissue, guys, you go and get it now. If you need a block, you go and get it now. Have you got your water? If you don't, go out and get it now because you are not going off the mats. It was a disaster. You can't have that. Okay, so you need to be really strict. It's a very regimental, disciplined practice. That is what people expect, and that's what you need to give them. Okay, and you'll be amazed at what beginners do. I promise you, you'll be amazed. They do brilliantly because they can see everybody else around. So not only are they listening to me, but they're looking as well. And I promise you, as difficult as what it may be for you guys who haven't done it before, beginners do brilliantly. They really do. Any questions, guys? Pick my brains. I'm here for asking anything. People on Zoom, if you want to chat, just put that little hand up thingy on Zoom, that little whatever, and then you can ask me anything that you want to ask. Does anybody have any questions? Yes.
Just the pose on the name with your arms and your body.
Yes.
That was like radically
Yeah.
So one day fine, but both days fine. I actually just fell out of it because it was like hot.
Yes. Okay. So half locus with your arms underneath you when you're kicking both of your legs up is very uncomfortable.
Really? I mean, I wouldn't call it like comfortable. I call it.
It is uncomfortable. And also because it is uncomfortable.
Is it also the weight of your body?
It is the weight of the body on your arms that makes it uncomfortable. If you have somebody that comes to you and says, like you do, then I would say to you, just keep your arms alongside your body here. Okay, because I don't want you to hurt yourself.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be that uncomfortable that it's almost excruciating. So if you come to me afterwards, you said it didn't feel comfortable, I will say to you next time, just keep your arms alongside you. Okay, so we try to do everything.
On this first.
Yes.
Like, because my problem is my hip
Good.
bones. Yeah.
Yes.
Is it sitting on your arm? Is it on the side, out? Like,
It depends on your body proportion, but most of the time I would say your hip bones are probably on your arms.
yeah.
And if you ask you know, we have a hip bone that's stick out, it's going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things.
Okay.
Okay, it also depends on body proportion, whether your hips are wide or narrow, whether they're going to, you know, where they are on arms or whatever. Body proportions will play a huge role.
Even on full, like, it's on like, on both, like, the hip bones is like, the
Ah,
side.
yes, okay, then it's going to be uncomfortable for you because you have got hip bones that stick out a little bit more than anybody else. There's nothing you can do about that. Okay, but you try and make it, maybe another mat. Might help, I don't know.
Yeah, like,
Sometimes-
even this, like, like, thick one. That's
Still,
thin, like,
no,
this side.
and there's nothing you can do. Nothing you can do. People with knee problems, I will tell them when we're doing the kneeling poses, if they want to, they can just roll up the front of their mat and kneel on a little bit of softness. Okay. Trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to tell you about it, but that is basically everything that you need to know about Part 26. If you're interested in teaching it, like I said, it's difficult to learn, not impossible, because once you've got it, you have got it. Okay, you don't need to think about the sequence of stage.
How long is the course?
It's 40 hours, so it's 36 hours. It's a 4-day intensive. So we normally do it on 2 weekends. Saturday, Sunday, and then you're done. Yep, and we did it here in this room here without the mirror. It was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It was amazing. Everybody just did.
You think it immediately?
No, we did it.
I find that's next to the-
No, we actually didn't put the heaters on. I think, oh no, we did. When we did an actual practice, we put the heating on. When we just teaching you after the heating is off, but when we did the actual background for Part 26, we did have the heaters on. Because you want to feel get a sense of what it feels like. Okay. And then as you go along, obviously, we'll be teaching you how to cue. We'll be teaching you how to get your timing correct. All of that. We'll teach you much more in depth about each of these poses because there are little things that you need to know about every single one, which I haven't got the time to do here. Otherwise, we wouldn't have teach training. Okay, because there are little things that you need to do for each and every pose to get the people in a little bit deeper, make sure they're doing it correctly, and all those kind of things. It might just be something simple like a skirt off the hips or something like that. But for each and every one of those poses, there's something else that you need to keep in mind that you need to know. Okay. Does anybody on Zoom have any questions? No? Okay, so you guys have all got waxed. Okay, so I'm glad nobody hated that. That's a good thing, thank goodness. All right, okay guys, so I will be doing the same sort of thing. We'll be doing a vinyasa module where I'll be telling you everything about vinyasa, okay, and trying to give you some insight about how you go about sequencing if you're going to be teaching at the studios, okay, because when you walk out of here, you need to have an idea of what the studios expect, of how they expect you to teach, but I'll go into all of that. So it'll basically be a similar kind of thing. What we normally do for that one though is I normally do a little bit of a lecture first, then we do a vinyasa class, nothing hectic, I'm not out to kill you guys, I just want you to get a feel for it, and then we have a little discussion afterwards. And again, as I said, you ask me any questions, I'm here to pick my brain. That's what I'm here for, okay. Good. All right guys, thank you. I hope you enjoyed that. And if you think of any questions and you want to put them on the group, please feel free to do that. I don't mind answering or privately and me, I don't mind. You can do that as well. Okay. All right, guys. Namaste. Have a beautiful rest of your Sunday. Thanks, guys, on Zoom. Sorry about the sound. I know it's a little bit difficult. Thanks, guys. I'll see you for vinyasa. Oh.